So when you hear the word Shopify, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's probably, a simple way to get an online store up and running. But honestly, that's kind of like saying Amazon just sells books. The real story here is so much bigger and way more interesting. Let's just kick things off with a couple of numbers that really put it into perspective.
Okay, look at this. 40x. What does that even mean? Well, what if I told you that Shopify's revenue growth, not over its whole life, but just in the last 10 years? Yeah, we're talking an explosion from about 200 million bucks to almost 9 times billion. That's not just growth. That's a straight-up reshaping of the entire e-commerce world.
All right, how about another one? $292 billion. That is the total value of everything merchants sold through Shopify just in 2024. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than the entire economy of countries like Portugal or New Zealand. So yeah, we can officially stop calling this thing just a website builder. It's a global economic engine, which really makes you wonder,
So what is Shopify really? I mean, if it's so much more than a simple storefront, what are we actually looking at here? And maybe the even bigger question is, where is all this headed? The answer, it turns out, is a super deliberate, decade-long transformation.
Okay, to really get what Shopify is today, we've got to go back and see how it evolved. Because this wasn't some overnight success story or one big aha moment. Nope, it was a series of really smart, strategic layers, each one built right on top of the last. And over a decade, they turned a simple tool into what you might call a full-blown commerce operating system.
And this timeline here, it really lays out the whole journey. See, Shopify started out as just a basic website builder. Simple enough. But then around 2016, things started to change. They launched their app store and they started wooing bigger brands with Shopify Plus. That's when it became a real platform. Then, the pandemic hit and boom, hypergrowth. But the really critical moment, that was 2023. That's when they shifted gears, focusing on disciplined, profitable growth. And that move, that's what sets the stage for their biggest bet yet, becoming the AI-native OS for pretty much all of commerce.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, at the very heart of Shopify's success is this really simple but powerful idea. Be the anti-Amazon. Think about it. While Amazon was busy building this one massive, all-consuming marketplace, Shopify took a totally different route. They focused on building the tools, the infrastructure for everyone else.
And this quote just nails the difference. I mean, think about it like this. Selling on Amazon is like being a guest in their house. You play by their rules, you're selling to their customers. But with Shopify, you're the homeowner. You own the place. They just provide the plumbing, the electricity, the foundation, but it's your brand, your house, and crucially, your relationship with the people who walk through the door.
And you can see that difference laid out so clearly here. On one side, you've got the Shopify model. It's all about owning your brand, your customer data. You're basically the one using the infrastructure to build your own thing. Then on the other side, you've got Amazon's marketplace. It's Amazon's brand, Amazon's customer. You're just a retailer feeding into their giant machine. That distinction right there, that's everything.
And to make sure these homeowners succeed, Shopify didn't just give them an empty plot of land. They built an entire city around them. It is so much more than just an online store. They handle the payments, they help you sell across borders with Shopify Markets, they've even got a system for physical in-person retail. They'll even lend you money with Shopify Capital. You throw in an ecosystem of over 8,000 apps for customization, and what you get is a platform that's incredibly sticky. Once you're in, you're probably not leaving.
But here's the thing. Building out all that powerful infrastructure, that was just Act 1. It was the setup for what comes next. Because the internet as we know it is about to change in a pretty massive way. And Shopify's whole homeowner model, it puts them in the perfect position to be at the absolute center of a new revolution. It's called agentic shop.
Okay, so agentic commerce. What on earth is that? Well, imagine this. Instead of you having to go and browse 10 different websites, comparing prices, reading reviews, you just tell an AI what you want. Hey, I need new running shoes for a marathon. And then the AI agent goes out, does all the work for you, finds the best options, compares them, and can even check out for you, all inside a chat window. It's literally like having a personal shopper in your pocket for, well, everything.
And this really shows you just how big a deal this is. I mean, think about the old way. It's work, right? You search, you click, you open a dozen tabs, you compare, it's a whole process. The new way? It's just a conversation. You just state your intent. I need a durable carry-on for under $300. And the AI does all that heavy lifting for you. It just brings you back the best options, and all you have to do is say yes. This isn't just a small change. It fundamentally rewrites the rules for how we interact with brands online. But for any of this to actually work, all these AI agents and all these different retailers need to speak the same language, right? I mean, an AI doesn't see a website the way you and I do. It can't just look for a big green add to cart button. It needs structured data. It needs a protocol. And that's exactly what this is, the Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP. Think of it as the new plumbing, the new backbone for this entire world of AI-driven shopping.
And just look at who's building it. You've got Google, you've got Walmart, Target, and right there in the mix is Shopify. This is not some small niche experiment. This is a massive, coordinated push by the biggest players in the game to build the actual rails for the next era of commerce. And Shopify is in on the ground floor, helping lay the foundation.
Which brings this whole conversation full circle, right back to Shopify's grand strategy and, well, its absolutely massive valuation. We're talking in the neighborhood of $200 billion. That kind of price tag, it's not just about what they're doing now. It's a massive bet that Shopify is going to be one of the biggest winners in this new AI-powered world.
So how are they planning to do it? Well, their AI strategy is basically two-pronged. On one hand, they're giving their merchants awesome AI tools right now. Things like Shopify Magic to write product descriptions, or Sidekick, which is like an AI co-pilot for running your business. That helps merchants today. But the second part, this is the really big play. They are positioning themselves to be the essential backend, the plumbing, for all those AI shopping agents being built by Google, Microsoft, and everyone else.
And that huge ambition, it's directly reflected in its market cap, which is sitting around $215 billion. You got to understand, that's not the valuation of a simple software company. That's the valuation of what investors hope will be a future infrastructure giant.
And the numbers really tell the story. I mean, you look at any of these metrics, price to sales, forward PE, it doesn't matter. Shopify is trading at a huge premium compared to pretty much everyone else. The market isn't just betting on some solid growth here. No, it's pricing in absolutely enormous, world-changing, we own the future level success.
And this is where we get to the really high-stakes debate about the company. For this massive valuation to make any sense at all, a few things have to go right. Shopify has to keep growing like crazy, and it has to become the default backend for AI shopping. But there's some big what-ifs. What if this whole agentic commerce future takes way longer to get here than everyone thinks? Or, and this is the scary one for Shopify, what if the real money, the real value, ends up with the big AI platforms like Google, and Shopify just becomes a commoditized piece of the puzzle?
And so that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Shopify has, without a doubt, brilliantly built itself into the essential infrastructure for today's internet. But as AI completely reshapes how we buy, well, everything, can they do it again? Will Shopify become the indispensable operating system for this new world? Or will it end up being just another pipe commoditized by the very AI giants it's trying to power? That right there is the $215 billion question.